LA Can came in at the Star Apartment towards after development was already established, was built. They have 100 units of affordable housing, extremely low-income housing for formerly homeless individuals. But they have a lot of programming, and one of the programming they wanted to focus on was a community garden. They wanted to have a garden, they didn't understand how to do that. So we as LA Can have a work on a community garden council that tries to build community gardens in Skidrow, do education around how to become a community gardener, et cetera, et cetera. And so we came in to try to guide that process that involves members. There's a lot of people who go out there and just say, if you want a garden, you can go hire a landscaper to build a garden. Or you could hire someone to say, hey, plant this stuff. What we wanted to do was build a process by which residents can be a part of what do we plant, how are we planting, how is it even gonna look, what should we grow, and then use that as a guiding direction to figure out how we can expand it and make it a community building space. Obviously, the thing folks think about is, hey, we grow fruits and vegetables, and that's definitely what we want to do. We approach it from a different perspective. In addition to doing that, we feel like that it provides a number of other ancillary benefits. For example, there's not a lot of public space or a lot of relaxation space in this community. There are 2 public parks, and I say public like that because they're closed when the sun goes down and they only open up when the sun comes up. There's grass on them, but it's roped off so people aren't allowed to enjoy the grass. So there's not a lot of public gathering spaces in general. So we view community gardens as an opportunity to not just grow stuff, but that folks in the community can come together and sort of escape sort of serious lifestyle of living on the streets. A lot of the folks in Skidrow are homeless. A lot of folks are, even folks who are housed, there's just not a lot of spaces for them to be. There's not a lot of benches. There's not a lot of parklets like they have in other parks of the city or downtown. So community gardens allow folks to have space to exist, to share with one another. It's a mental health space, right? It's folks to decompress a little bit. It's relaxing. There's a lot of studies, a lot of evidence that shows that folks who have community gardens, who work with their hands in dirt, benefit from that. It's an opportunity to feel proud and feel a lot of pride in the work that you're doing. And it's an opportunity to learn and to share skills. So we're not coming in with a perspective of, hey, we're going to teach you how to garden. Once we set up the garden, we realize that there are tons of residents who have tons of experience in gardening. They just need opportunities and space and resources. And once we provide that, a lot of those residents are leading a lot of the workshops, are leading the opportunities. So it's an opportunity to share skills, share talents, creativity. I think people were surprised when they first saw the community garden at the Star Apartments. And it's an experience that is very common. Skidrow has a very crystallized sort of connotation, right? It's homeless folks, it's drugs, it's crime. We try to counteract that on any number of levels. But one of them being by providing this community garden space. And I think that folks saw that, wow, I can have a community garden in Skidrow, that these are folks who live in pretty serious poverty, but with resources, with space, they, just like anybody else, have the ability and skills and passion and creativity to grow stuff and to grow food for themselves and for their community. And so I think the reaction was great. We had tons of people coming up saying, how do I start a community garden? I have a small space. And we tell folks, it does not take much. You can plant it on a parkway, you can plant it in a bucket, you can plant it in a planter. Really all you need is just a little bit of dedication and a little bit of and some seeds and some dirt, and you can get started. And so I think the reception was great, and I'm excited about following up with some folks about how we can help create gardens in their communities.